When I first started training, I was the only woman.
I was one of only 3 female tattoo artists in my city.
We have 2 women working for the studio right now. I have been called woman at a work event before. It was very humiliating. I'm the product manager for Blank Media Games, creators of Town of Salem, the online and card game. What I do as product manager is manage everything regarding our physical products, which include maintain the orders. I ship from my house to anywhere in the US to make sure it gets to them safely. I first entered the industry in, I think, 2011. I met up with a friend I grew up with, and then he asked me if I wanted to start a game company with him. I'd never done that before, and I'd gotten a theater degree. I said, sure, I've never done that before, I'll go for it. We have 2 women working for the studio right now. We all work remotely. I work at home with 2 dogs and 2 cats, and we all love each other very much. About 25 years ago, women made up 5% of the industry, and now they're about 22% of the industry, which is a significant change, but it doesn't match up with the fact that women are 51% of the market.
I was tattooing this guy, and I was tattooing the inside of his arm, so he was laying on his back, like on a bench with his arm like this, and he kept putting his hands in his pants and playing with himself.
Does it feel like I'm tattooing your bones?
Yeah.
When I first started tattooing, I was one of only 3 female tattoo artists in my city. It was a pretty decent-sized city. It was in Cleveland, Ohio. And even just a couple years later, there was twice as many, and then twice as many as that. And now it has just exploded. There are a ton of female tattoo artists.
How many have I gotten from Sarah? 11. About 11 tattoos.
And you were still on for the ride too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys do piercing?
Years and years past, it was always very male-dominated, rough and tumble, but I think I'm a lot less intimidating than some of the guys, especially some of the old school guys. Yeah, being a female has really actually helped me.
Back around, I think it was 1996, I started doing iron training along with the men in the school, and our teacher from Lexington visited, and he found out I was doing iron training, and he said, well, you're the first woman in our system to do it. And he gave me this patch.
I'm a 6th degree black belt. So in the Shalando system, nationwide, there are only 3 female 6th degree, and no female higher than that.
When I first started training in Kung Fu, I was a college student at Indiana University. My husband had started a school. I wanted to spend more time with him, yes, but I also wanted to start getting fit, and I also wanted to learn some practical self-defense skills. When I first started training at the Kung Fu school, I was the only woman, and it took about a year before some other women started joining, but by then I was almost to black belt, so I was their teacher.
I started the women's retreat 98, 99, something like that. Originally I started having a women's retreat every year to encourage the women to come together and get to have that community of we're all together in this martial art, because there were so few of them initially.
Double horizontal punch. Now you're going to go left, right to the back wall and do your Pala Abdul move, scissoring the hands. Good. Y'all look good on checking your hand position.
Cheryl has been an inspiration to me from the beginning. When I started 15 years ago, she was a 3rd degree, and she was one of the highest ranked women in the system. And that was a big thing for me. I didn't want to go to a place where it was just a bunch of, guys. So seeing that Master Cheryl was way up where she was inspired me to get there myself. And not only that, you know, she's a co-owner of the school, she's a wife, she's a mom of 2, and just seeing her as a fellow student and as a teacher, all of that inspired me.
So after you do your run, we have somewhere between 300 and 400 students at our 2 schools, North and South Austin. I'd say nearly half of our students are female. One of the primary reasons that most women start a martial art is because they want to be able to protect themselves, I think. But we've noticed with all of our students that they may come in to learn how to fight or defend themselves, but it always kind of transforms into everybody going for the same thing, personal growth.
I believe that in the future, we will reflect the marketplace in the industry.
I feel like at our school that most of the women feel equally able, equally strong, equally skilled as the men.
Nothing that would make a difference, like male or female. There's not like anything that's like, oh, this is for girls. Like that just doesn't happen.